let's bring it back to living in cities. You've lived all over the country. You've lived in LA briefly. I believe you live in Scottsdale now,
Mhm.
correct? That's one thing that's really interesting about sports versus education. And obviously, the childhood dream of any athlete is to get drafted, especially first round. And it's so cool that you lived out your dream. One of the challenging things about sports, in my opinion, is they tell you where you have to live. You don't get a choice. It's saying, hey, Johnny, you're going to Cleveland, or hey, Zion, you're going to New Orleans. Whereas as someone who's leveraging your degree, you want to go live in New York City? Go ahead. You want to live in LA? Go ahead. You want to go live in London? Go ahead. You want to quit your job? Go ahead. Do you think there's some type of interesting piece? Now, the NBA has been a little different. People like LeBron have really paved the way where now the players have a lot more power where they can sort of demand trades of sorts and kind of, be able to dictate their terms. But isn't that interesting when you think about athletics where you're pretty much told, like, hey, your whole day is controlled and you have to go live in a certain city? Sometimes that can be really challenging for your heads because, like, what if you don't want to live in a certain city?
Yeah, it was difficult for me. I think Cleveland is a huge, 180 from what Texas is.
Yes,
And to be born
yes.
and raised in Texas and never really leave for 22 years and then go to Cleveland, it's like I'd never seen anything like that. I'd never seen the weather like that. A place, I think it takes a toll on your mental and how your life goes a little bit. At the end of the day, you sign up for a 4-year contract, one that
Yep.
pays obviously really well and one that um, is warranted. It's the
Yeah,
way it's
yeah,
always
yeah.
gone. You go play college sports, you're good enough, you get a chance to go to the draft, and then you get a chance to, go play in the National Football League. But for me, I think I've got a chance now since I've been out of the game to live in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
I went to Canada and played football there for a whole year, so got to see, every province there. Got to live in, Montreal for a year. That was
Montreal's
great.
beautiful.
Was a really, really cool place to get to live and a great country to get to see. I went back to Texas for a little bit after I lived in LA for 5 years, and was still like Texas is always home, a place I want to be, but like not a place I'm ready to full time live yet. Just with I think for me being in Texas, I get noticed and recognized a little bit more, and I want to be in a place for me where I can go live a normal life, and I don't have to have this, have to be a famous football
Well,
player
you don't
or
want to get
whatever.
pulled away for pictures every 2 seconds of your day. I'm sure that
I've
can,
settled on
yeah,
Arizona, and right now
yeah,
Arizona's been great for me. I play a lot of golf. I think the weather outside of the summer
yeah.
months is absolutely amazing, and I found great people there. So
That's like a great place. So tell me why you chose to live in LA versus New York. So once you were done playing or took a break, you were basically in, full autonomy of your life. Like, I'm going to do whatever I want. You chose LA. That's one thing we're always counseling with students or even young employees. Like, hey, what city you go to, it really impacts your life a lot. And I'm a big proponent like LA, and for technology, SF is really big as well. So LA, SF, New York, incredible for technology companies and being able to get a great tech job. Was there a reason you chose LA? What drew you to LA?
I came out here. I think I wanted the exact opposite of whatever Cleveland was. And whenever I got cut in Cleveland, I
Yeah.
came out here for a month and then ended up staying for 4 or 5 years, and it just kind of happened that way. I loved everything that I think anybody loves about
Yeah.
LA and about California, and it was something that was just completely different of the world I'd been in for 2 years. It was always sunny. It was great, great weather, a lot to do. Um, and I loved it here. And I think, after 4 or 5 years, I left probably sometime around 2000, 18, 19. So I got out of here before the whole COVID, the pandemic and stuff. And, you know, made my way not too far over to Scottsdale and started playing golf every day and never really looked back.
I love that. So do you have any aspiration to get on any type of tour?
I don't think so. I think for me, playing golf is it gives me that competitive fire that I had in football. It gives me that ability to compete and go out and have, a good time. I think a lot of it too is help with my mental health. And I think with being outside every day and getting a chance to spend 4 or 5 hours out in the sun and getting a chance to, do something physical, do something that's good for your mental, for me is worked volumes.
I love that. Mental health is everything. Mental and physical health, fitter body, fitter mind. Always prioritize yourself. Always prioritize a little ability.